All right, so welcome to this training. So we are going to crack on and look at the 5 pillars of transformation that it's a protocol that we use inside of our programs, the Indestructible Men's system, right? And I'm going to show you these 5 pillars and why they are so important and why 95% of people struggle to create lasting change with their health and fitness without these 5 pillars, right? So the first #1 pillar that we're going to look at today is mindset. Okay, so mindset. So we're going to show you why this is important. We're going to show you why this is part of the 5 pillar system, and why without this, nothing will ever work. Okay, so this is a key pillar. This is why we have this as our #1 pillar, right? This is where all behavior and all change stems from. Without this, without working on mindset, nothing changes. Okay, so we're going to look at that. We're going to give you some strategies, some techniques to go away and do to help you get a kickstart on this too. Okay, so pillar 1, mindset. So what does mindset incorporate? What does it involve? Well, this is where like we look at self-sabotage, right? We look at self-sabotage, like why like many people, many businessmen that I speak to before they come and get help with me is, you know what, it's like they struggle to change their habits, right? It's like they know what to do. They know like they shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be doing all that, but they do it, right? And they can't understand why they keep doing that, right? That's a problem, right? It's a big problem because like, you know, you shouldn't be doing something, right? You don't want to be doing something, but you're doing it, right? And it's like, why am I doing this? Like, why, right? So self-sabotage is a big part of this, understanding why you self-sabotage, okay? We look at limiting beliefs, right? Limiting beliefs is a big part of mindset work, right? Beliefs that limit you, like narratives in your head and thought patterns that hinder your ability to move forward and to make progress, okay? So now let's take a closer look at mindset, right? What is the meaning of mindset? Now, mindset has different meanings, right? Like it means like there's different things out there, right? But this is one that really, I feel that really explains it really well. Like mindset to me is a set of beliefs and assumptions that are so powerful that your behavior conforms to them. Right? Think about that for a second, right? You own, or we own, a set of beliefs and assumptions that are so powerful that your behavior conforms to them. So basically, your behavior conforms to those beliefs and assumptions that you possess. Okay. So in order, if we are to change behavior, we must change our beliefs and our assumptions. Okay. All right, look, moving forward. Now, as we've already spoke about, all change stems from here, right? It all stems from your mindset. This is like the starting point, right? Everything here, our perspectives, our thought patterns, all our decisions come from here. Okay, so we're going to look at this a bit more closely in just a second, right? So first of all, look, is this you, right? Now, you're already successful in other areas, right? Business going well, you're married, you've got children and stuff. Like everything's like you've been successful across those areas, but the only thing that this area that you struggle with, the area that's been missing in your life is like your ability to get motivated and to work on your health and fitness, right? It's like that missing piece, which is leaving you feeling like exhausted and tired and like really struggling to like the way who you are in the mirror, like looking at yourself and you're disconnected in day-to-day life and low in confidence and like that. I mean, that inner confidence, right? And really that health and happiness and well-being that you know you can have, like you once had, like that's what you're struggling with, right? So it's leaving you feeling frustrated, right? It's frustrating, right? Knowing that you can get your act together, you can get your shit together across these areas, other areas, but you can't seem to get your shit together in terms of your health and fitness, your habits, your lifestyle, sleep, taking time for you and prioritizing time for you and making that time for you, improving the way you eat, improving your daily habits. And it's leaving you feeling frustrated, right? Why can I not do this? Okay. So look, what you think you need, and this comes from like speaking to hundreds and hundreds of men and having helped hundreds of men transform their long-term health and fitness, drop loads of weight. It's like, look, what people tend to think, right? When it comes to like looking at changing their habits and stuff, like they think they need more time. They think they need motivation. They think they need a diet plan, and they think they need to go all in and be like this, have this all or nothing approach. Now, you don't need any of that, right? Now, you probably might be wondering, like, look, yeah, but I do need more time. Like, how much time do you think you need? Like, I've helped business owners who are working, like, have been working 60+ hour weeks, they've got families, extremely busy, transform their bodies and habits. You don't need as much time as you think, right? In fact, what I'm about to show you with these 5 pillars is how to buy time, right? How to like fit this in around your busy lifestyle. You don't need as much time as you think, right? Motivation doesn't last long, right? Motivation has an expiry date. You don't need motivation. We'll show you how to find motivation, right? Inside my programs, we look at like what drives me, what is my purpose in life that is going to allow me, how can I align my health and fitness goals with these other areas of my life? You don't need a diet plan. You actually don't need a diet plan, right? And like, you might be laughing at this, but like, why do you need a diet plan? Like something to follow, like following someone else's plan. You don't need any of that, right? You need that structure. You go and watch the nutrition video on one of the second pillar. We'll talk about nutrition and how to improve your own nutrition and how to create your own nutrition plan that works for you around your busy lifestyle, right? And we'll show you why you don't actually need a diet plan. All or nothing, that's the approach that leads to doing it or not doing it, right? What we want to hear is consistency, and consistency like in life and in progression across all areas in life. Okay. So look, what you actually need, work on your mindset. All right. So we look at values, sabotage, like self-sabotage, why you do certain things. We look at beliefs. Like what you need is structure, right? A bit of structure to operate in, systems, support, focusing on key rocks, right? Big rocks. Like I always talk about this, and this is how we work with clients is we look at the big picture, then we break it down, we work backwards, and we focus on changing 2 to 3 things a week, right? 2 to 3 things a week, like that becomes manageable. It's doable. But these 2 to 3 things are what we call the big rocks, the key rocks that are going to allow you to change and transform progressively. Okay, the 5 pillars, what you need, right? I'm going to show you why these 5 pillars are critical to lifelong change, and why if just one of these pillars is missing, like doesn't work, right? We're going to look at self-image here. Flexibility you need, like to be able to do this without having to feel restrictive, right? Most diets and most programs out there like require you this immense discipline that you like, it's eventually you break, right? It's too much, it's not sustainable. And also focusing on key habits that create lifelong behavior change. Okay. So what is stopping you? Like what is stopping you? Like what you might think, like from having my experience speaking to people, is what you think is stopping you is not actually what's stopping you. Okay. So most people, when they go out and trying to create some form of change. Like they try and do everything overnight, change everything overnight, right? They start 100 miles an hour and they just burn out within a few days, a few weeks at most. It's not sustainable, right? We can't change everything overnight. Change has to be progressive, that allows you to grow mentally. Like we look at personal development and why it's important that your mind you're working on your mind as well as your body stuff and nutrition stuff, right? It's important. So start slow, finish fast. That's how we operate, right? Starting slow, finish fast. One step at a time. Okay. Self-image is important here, right? Now, what is self-image? Self-image is who you think you are, right? How you perceive yourself to be, right? And why is this important, right? Because like this is what mindset really is, right? Working on your self-image. Like 95% of people who lose weight on a diet will put it back on and more. Okay. Like habits are stronger than willpower. That's why habits are so important, right? And we'll show you in just a sec why. Nutrition and exercise are only surface pillars. Like this is why, like you don't need, it's not just about diet and fitness. We need to look at other stuff, right? Lasting change must look at the psychology part of it. Like your psychology, a person's psychology, how they think, their self-image, their thought patterns. It's critical, right? So there's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, right? And this is written by a doctor. He's a plastic surgeon. Okay, I think he's American, and he did loads of research, and that's why he wrote this book, right? And he used to help people with plastic surgery. So in his studies, like what he did was he studied loads of women, right? And he studied these women like who they were like famous people, right? Would go in and stuff. And they'd go in, like ask for plastic surgery, and they would get what they wanted because they weren't happy with the way they looked. And they kept going in and always looking to change things, right? But what he figured was like these people are never happy, right? They're never happy. Like when asked, like they got the exact face that they wanted, etc. But when they looked in the mirror, like they still thought themselves as the person as ugly and as the person that they thought they were. Okay, so what that shows is like in fitness and weight loss and lifestyle change, it's the exact same thing, right? You could go out there and lose loads of weight. You could like change your habits and have everything that you've always wanted, but still be unhappy inside because that self-image that hasn't changed. Okay. So what is critical here is to understand the psychology of like self-image and self-belief, right? Building that self-belief up and learning to love yourself, learning to trust yourself. Like who we think we are dictates our decisions, right? This is why mindset is important, right? If we don't change our internal thought patterns, like we will always go back to who we think we are. And this is why like most people are like all of them, like we, by the time we reach 7, our adult life has already been programmed, right? It's basically already programmed. We're like acting subconsciously. So we need to go back and look at that and change the programming that's inside our mind to be able to match up to the habits that we want if we are to create change. Okay. So this is why personal development is critical, right? Allows you to create a growth mindset, like, and fitness, like when we bring personal development and fitness, right, which is what we do in Indestructible Man, is like you start to see that if you can do something that you've never managed to do before, and that's what my clients see, right? They start to question is like, oh, I can do this. Like if I can do this, I can do anything. Right? I can do this. I can like I can also, like, their performance across other areas of life automatically improve as well. They increase in their relationship, in their marriage, in their business, productivity levels. It all dramatically improves because they're working on themselves. They're improving their physique. They're improving their mindset. So another thing here is that confidence comes from evidence, right? Confidence comes from evidence. So this is why it's important to, like, always reflect and look back at how far you've come. So I want you to, use this to give you an example here, right? A little task for you to go and do, right? I want you to look at an area in your life where you are proud of, right? That you've managed to achieve, whether it's a business, where you've managed to grow a business to the level that you wanted. And look at where you started, right? Like, looking back, like, look at the benchmarks, the step-by-step process, that the determination that has allowed you to grow to that level. And notice how that makes you feel, right? It gives you that boost in confidence. And imagine doing that for your body, right? And fitness as well. It's the same thing. Like, having that evidence and being able to look back and turning around and seeing how far you've come is incredible for your confidence. And this is what it's all about. The journey is all about progression. You're here to expand and grow as a person and progressively get better and better, right? We're not getting to a point of perfection here. Like, perfection to me signals like an end point, right? When everything just finishes off and that's it. Like, we are here to expand and progress. So when it comes to progression, we must focus on gradual progress. This is why, like, reflection is key. A big, massive part of my program is to reflecting back and looking back and thinking about stuff and seeing the gradual progress and making gradual step-by-step progress. Okay. Also, change, we have to understand it's not an overnight thing, right? It's a gradual process that happens gradually over time. So this is where we need to develop patience and being able to look at the key things, the key factors and the key drivers that help us move forward. Okay. So these are the 5 pillars. Like, we're going to look at the 5 pillars here, right? So I just wanted to show you why mindset is so critical and what mindset actually is and what it means, and how we can actually work on mindset and using psychology of behavior change and using that in an effective and simplified way for you to be able to experience, like, real transformation in life, in your body and your fitness and your health, right? Like, I do Krav Maga, right? It's a martial art. It's like a martial art. It's like a real life fighting self-defense technique class, right? And my instructor, like, taught me that in Krav Maga is like, when you control someone's head, when you take control of someone's head, like, you're controlling their body as well, right? Your body goes where the head goes. And that is so real. Like, physically speaking, if you control someone's head, you're also controlling their body, right? If you put their head, like hands on their head or put your body on their head, they can't move their body. And this is the same with health and fitness, right? If you learn to control and hone in on your focus, learning to work, if you work on your mind, like, your body follows wherever your mind goes, right? Your body can only go as far as your mind will go. So if you do not believe that you can achieve something, you won't. Like, if you believe that you're the fat person, you'll always, like, your behaviors will match that of a fat person, right? So this is why it's important, right? 5 pillars, right? So pillar 1, mindset. Okay. So now we're going to go on and look at the other pillars here. So the next one coming up is the second pillar, which is nutrition. All right. Speak soon.